Hi, back again. So, you know those things you'll see in the movies, you'll see in real life, you'll see in friggin' Mississippi. Uh, that there's those parents or those people with the beliefs like the Christian Judean God. Like my God is the only God, and if you don't believe in God, you're wrong. Or not just wrong, you're a freak of nature. You must believe in my God. Anyway, you know those people you'll see in the movies, you'll see in real life, where they're like, hey, you're gay, you're going to hell. You know those people? You see them everywhere. I see them out here in town. I mean, that shouldn't be a surprise. I live in, douchebag Texas. Where everyone believes in all that Bible stuff and hates you for being somewhat different. Anyway, I'm thinking, because, I mean, every time this happens, just about everyone who isn't a total asshole gets offended. Because, you're an asshole. Let's face it. Whether your God permits it or not, it also says in the Bible, love thy neighbor. So shut up. At least pretend while you're around us, so that you too don't go to hell. Think about it. You're sinning by telling us that we're sinning and being such an asshole about it. You could simply say, yeah, I don't believe in what you're doing. I'ma pray for you. And leave it there. And that should be the entire conversation. But as a gay person, have we ever taken a look, a little peek at the other side of this coin? We always hear the "you're going to hell" and get all offended and how dare you? I have as much right to go to heaven as any of you. But think about it. We never took a look at what that implies. They're saying that if you're gay, you go to hell. Which means, it would only make sense if that means that when you die as a homosexual, you then are transported to a hot, damp place with every other homosexual who ever lived. It's not a bad idea. Think about it. And if movies like The Exorcist have anything to say about what hell is, we'll know that little possessed girl that was possessed by that one demon said, your mother sucks cocks in hell. You gotta think, how fun is hell? By telling every gay person you see on the street, you're going to hell, you're just now confirming that person's going to heaven. He's going to a different heaven that's probably next door to yours. He's probably renting the apartment. You've got your heaven and he's got his heaven over there. It's an apartment complex of everyone's heavens. There's two sides to every coin. There's more than 1,000 sides to every story. Because unless there was maybe one person in the story, in which case there isn't, because we're talking about homosexuality, which is practically everyone on the planet, just no one's told anyone yet because of how douchey their friends are, or their mom, or their dad. Let's face it, unless you have a heart made of solid brick, because let's face it, if it was gold or silver or even steel, There's still a partial chance that it could kind of work in some way, similarity, stuff, words. But if it was made of brick, then it's not doing anything. It's made of brick. Shut up. I'm a genius. I'm totally smart. I haven't been to school in like 5 years. Leave me alone. So, unless you're a total douchebag, I mean, when you see the stories of parents disowning their kids for being, homosexuals, it should make you feel offended regardless of what you are. But at the same time, to your belief, kicking that person out means that you're going to hell. Which is the exact thing you're trying to prevent for your kid. So it's like that thing where you catch your kid smoking and you make him smoke a carton of cigarettes. You're not helping. You're making matters worse. That only works with alcohol. You can only do that with alcohol and have the other effect. I mean, with cigarettes, they smoke the pack, and then eventually it becomes smoother, gentler strokes, kind of like masturbation. At first, it's difficult, and you don't know what to do exactly. You've seen it in movies, but you don't exactly know what you're doing. But as you go along, you're like, I get the motions here. I see what I'm doing wrong. I see what I can do right. But with alcohol, it's the exact opposite. When you first start, you're like, that's an odd taste. But, I mean, I feel a little less pain from my parents disowning me. But as you keep going and going and going, you're like, fuck me. And then you pass out. Or at least your consciousness passes out. And then you black out. Yeah, you black out that you shat on the sheriff's car. And then flipped him off as he was putting you into the car and driving you to the police station. And then tried to tuck and roll out of the car and ended up hitting a fence. That's what alcohol does, not cigarettes. I've completely lost why I was doing this video. Moving back to the problem at hand. I would hate to sound like I'm trying to say that every homosexual is a sexual beast, is, only in it for the McLovin part of the deal. Which isn't true. I mean, most people of either faith or just stupidity in general would like to believe that every homosexual is a sexual deviant who will rape anything in sight. I mean, I've seen a few of these peoples myself. And I'm talking about both sides of that coin. I've seen a few homosexuals that are only in it for the sex, and I've seen a few douchebags who believe that that's what homosexuals are. I've seen people back away from people after they came out of the closet like, hey, I'm gonna rape you because I'm gay. Because that's apparently how this works in your mind. Do you see how you're an asshole yet? Do you? Do you see how you're an asshole yet? Anyway. What was I talking about? I don't remember what I was talking about. Something homosexual. Yes. But think about it in another perspective. I mean, going to hell with all the other homosexuals wouldn't exactly mean you're in it just for the sex. I mean, you could just be in it to have someone to talk to that isn't your douchey friends or what you thought were your friends before you came out of the closet to them. I mean, hell, if you're not in it for the sex part, which is something probably no guy has ever been a part of. I mean, let's face it, men are animals. We will have sex with the damn TV if we get lonely enough. I've been in this room for like 3 years. I haven't had sexual contact with another person that was off a phone. I mean, that wasn't off a phone and not actually a part of my life for like 5 years now. I mean, nothing says sexually freaky like sexually repressed. Anyway. But the point is, if that's not a part of what you do, then it's highly likely that when you go to hell/heaven, you would find quite a few others like that too. You would find quite a few people that were never in it for the sex and only in it for the relationship. You know, and mainly they were in it because that's part of their genetic DNA, as science would prove, but people of faith would like to deny, even though they love every other part of science, like how it creates medicines that keep them alive, and then they say it's God's gift. But when science proves that homosexuality is a genetic trait and not some sort of choice in the matter, they're like, that's hocus pocus. That's the part of the devil in you. Well, is that so? You know, because you praise science otherwise. So, why would science lie about this? Is it just because you're an asshole that you can't see? Are you blind? Are your eyes clouded with judgment that you don't understand? Oh, shit, we're past the 12 minutes. That seems to be all the time I have. But, you know, think about it. Think about these coins we got here. So, I mean, remember, if you're a homosexual, be proud of it. If anyone tells you you're going to hell, tell them, yes, I am. I got a parking spot in there. Got my name on it and everything. That's what I do every time, too. I'm not lying either. Anyone ever tells me that, that's what I do. And it happened twice, and I did that. I always do. I'm glad to be this guy. I'm glad to be the weird one in town that has all this the witty retort for everyone's idea that I'm going to a hot place filled with other guys. Good times. Good times. Have a nice day, guys. You are awesome. And don't let anyone tell you you're not. You can probably kick him in the nuts if you want. I mean, that's assault. And, I mean, if you kick him while you're down, that's assault with a deadly weapon. Oh shit, this thing is falling down. I've stuffed too many things back here. Coming! Boop.